Good evening, everyone, and welcome, Mark, Spirit Whisperer, here with us.
Thank you for having
I don't know
me.
if Pan will make an appearance.
He might. You never know.
You are
He's
so
usually
welcome. I don't know if Pan will be.
he's usually hanging around, so
And the
we'll see.
last time I was on with you, I was on with you, I believe, last July or August, and um, we did a segment on um, Harvey Milk.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I hadn't thought about that. Yeah. I remember now. That was fun. Well, not like your traditional fun, but I remember when he came in and talked and stuff to us.
Yeah, I don't usually get channeled messages. Um, usually through the cards, but then
Uh-huh.
the cards will bring a channeled message sometimes.
Right. Yeah, because that's what they're a tool for communication. So I do think that they do that. Um, I always think spirit is talking to me through the cards. I hear it at the same time, but they kind of double down with the cards, I think. And then the cards have their own voice, their own way of um, working with individuals, I think.
Yeah, and from reading at fairs and stuff like that, the cards will tell me how much a person can take honesty,
Yeah.
or if you've got to wear kid gloves and you know carefully deliver the message so that you're
Yeah.
not trampling
And horror.
feelings.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. I know
Well,
what you mean.
we already have such a stigma around um, tarot cards and esoteric spiritual stuff that people are very leery
Yep.
of it.
Yeah. Because when Christianity and religion came in, they tried to make all that stuff scary because that was a way you could communicate with spirit on your own and you didn't really need some person in charge to do it for you, So they're going, oh no, let's make
A
that
godhead,
scary.
a
Yeah, so
godhead pope.
yeah, exactly. So they tried to make all that scary. Well, like Pan, he began to be the devil all of a sudden during all that time. Uh, because a lot of people think, oh, isn't that the devil? Well, no, that's not. That's a whole different energy. But anyway.
So, Mark, how have you been?
Oh, pretty good. Just, going day by day. I think that's
And
all I do.
health health is holding out for you.
Yep, I have a little bit of congestion. I never know if it's um, allergies or just, I don't know, but there's always like some sniffing and coughing and stuff. But I'm going to the doctor this week too, not as a just to go see them, but I don't have anything really that I'm going to report much. But so I'm doing pretty good. I can't complain too much.
They like us to make an appearance every so often so they can make the Tesla payment or
Yeah,
take their family to Disney World or whatever
right,
is on their agenda.
right. That's right. And I just changed this doctor. She's new. My other doctor quit or something. So this is only the second time I'm seeing this one.
And what is coming up for you in regards to shows?
Well, I still always do. I always do two a week, two live shows a week. I always do Saturday. Where Pan and we just address any question on any topic, anything. I don't really care. Politics, current events, whatever it is. And then we always do Mondays at 2 where we just read on animals and nature. So I always do those every week unless something really weird prevented it, like the power went out or something. Um, and I've been more recently doing political readings, but just not live, just at home by myself, and then posting those. And that's been a new thing. And I've been getting really good feedback on it. So I've been doing that a couple times a week. And I did the first one of those, I guess 2 weeks ago. Maybe it's going to 3 weeks. And just out of the blue, Spirit said, go do a political tape and just see how you like it. And so I did, and then I posted it, and then that got 11,000 views.
Oh, wow.
In one day. And so I don't know. I feel like that's why they made me get up at midnight and go make that tape. But so I've been doing that. And then, my channel numbers and stuff went up quite a bit after that. I don't know what happened. It was some like gift from the heavens or something. But I have a lot of new subscribers, and a lot more emails to respond to. So, the numbers all went up, but then I just stayed the same. So I'm trying to catch up with it. You know what I mean? But I'm thankful. I'm not complaining. I'm thankful.
Okay, I'm going to catch up on all these me's.
We might have a little bit of lag between us today. I don't know, but I imagine the weather and stuff isn't helping the connection.
Yeah, it is just a bit delayed, but it should be manageable.
Yeah. The tail end of the hurricane went through here yesterday, but we didn't hardly get, right here at my house, I didn't hardly get anything, just a tiny bit of rain.
Well, I think this was Hershey's second hurricane that she's been through. One in Florida and one here. So, it didn't start getting really bad till after midnight Sunday, and so we were up pretty much all night, and then about 10:30 in the morning, the eye came over, and then the wind changed directions, as it does. But we were on the dirty side of the hurricane, so we got a lot of moisture, and the local bayou was it was flowing at bank level because you could see the grass all laid down going downstream. But we weathered the storm. It's just the aftermath.
Right.
The first 2 days, there was only one gas station open, and people were lined up around the blocks. And then we have an ice kiosk, twice the ice, and people were lined up there trying to fill up their coolers and save whatever perishables were in their refrigerators. And so today it's people going out and replacing bread and milk and what they can, but not everybody has power, or not every business has credit debit cards working right now. So it is a price gouger's paradise. And Texas says they will prosecute, but nah, they don't. It's, hey, I figure you charged an extra $10,000. Why don't you just give the state or me, or just hand me $10,000 and I won't say anything.
Wow.
I think that's how the world works these days.
Yeah. It seems like it. Yeah, I know. Gosh, I know, and it just shows you too. Like, you quickly realize how dependent we are on like electricity and stuff, because without it for a few days, everything quickly goes downhill.
Yeah, I wouldn't have made it in Pioneer days.
Yeah, because we're all not used to that, and then all of a sudden there's no air, there's no electric, there's no entertainment, there's no refrigerator, there's no stove, there's no bank machine, everything has just gone down. So you're like, oh God, it's a drag.
Okay, so far I've got 9 starred. I've got Melinda, Paula Roveda, SPEP, Ness, Thomas Reynolds, Juanita's Review, Sandra Milner, another Paula Roveda. So we've got 2. Peg Carr. So I'll take one of yours out, Paula. And let's start with Melinda. She was the first one to say me. And Melinda, if you've got a subject you would like us to read on, we'll do a little mini read for you.
Yep. Are you here, Melinda?
Hello, Rossi. How are you? And then I've got a whole bunch of tech equipment that was supposed to be delivered yesterday from the Zons of Amma, but they got affected by the hurricane here too.
Yeah.
Okay, Melinda, do you have a question that you would like us to read?
I hope that's going to be the last you guys have, but unfortunately, I don't feel like it is. I hate that.
Well, yeah, it was just the second named storm of the season, and as long as it doesn't go completely till the end of November, we're taking off on a cruise first part of November.
Oh. Okay, there's your question. Yeah.
Okay, Melinda. Well, of course, everything has a vibration, sound, color, just some kind of vibration to it. And the legend of the crystal skulls, when all 13 of them get back together, the vibration that they're supposed to produce and the computing power, the information stored in the crystals skulls will be immense and unleashed on the world. And we have lost Mark. So I'll start. And Melinda, so we start with the 2 of Swords. So you're trying to make your mind up. Are you imagining it, or are you imagining the vibrations, or do you actually feel something, hear something? Justice comes in there, and Justice is saying that no, this is a law of the natural world. Everything has vibration, everything has its color, everything has its place. So are you a little more sensitive than the next person? Probably. But 7 of Pentacles, you're going to have to work at it and practice listening to it. And it's going to take some time. When you plant your harvest, you don't get the final ear of corn until you've gone through the entire cycle. So stick with it. And so you got some Tibetan crystals with drops of water in them. That's ancient water. And of course, the water that we see today has been recycled many, many times over. Could have been part of a historic person's respiration or excrement processes. We filter and recycle all the time here on this planet. And Mark, what do you say about the crystal vibrations for Melinda?
Well, I say you're feeling them because it's actually a connection that has motion or energy to it. So this is the Knight of Wands. So it's like an active spiritual energy that you can feel. I like this Knight of Wands. This is a brand new deck I just got yesterday, and it's a little bit different, which I'm liking. I pulled a few cards earlier by myself, but this one has the Sphinx and the pyramids under it, because it says some of these crystals you have has information from the past, like older information, I feel like. I just pulled 3 cards. The other one, the crystals are saying, yeah, not only can you feel the vibration, you could receive communication from us if you got quiet, went into meditation, and sat with us, and instigated an interaction. They give me this card. Guys, I read off pictures a lot more sometimes than what the technical definitions of the cards are. But this is a brand new deck, but I love it. Like, imagine these wands, and wands is spirit energy. So I'm going to call these are crystals. They're your crystals, and you got a whole bunch of them, and they're all laying down there. They want you to pick up one and focus on one at a time. Look how he's even holding it up to his forehead or putting it on his third eye. So you might do that like in meditation and just focus on one at a time. See what energy, what message might come. You can just say, if I were to receive a message, or if you wanted to send me some message, what would that be? And then listen and see what you get. If anything, even if it feels like you made it up, it doesn't matter. Write it down and then try it with a different crystal and see, is that different? Is that the same? Am I actually distinguishing different vibrations with each one? And I help you learn that you are sensing their energy and their vibration, because they'll be a little bit different depending on which crystal you're working with. That's what I'm hearing.
Thank you, Mark. And I hope that answers your question, Melinda.
Yeah, those raised triangles are supposedly record keeper crystals that were programmed by the Atlanteans. At least that's the story. This one I have has the raised pyramids on it. It has 3 triangles that are interlocked, and it's on this tiny little itty bitty slice there. You can only see it under a magnifying glass, but they're really cool, and they're all interlinked. And I was asleep. I was getting, when I first started with Pan, he took me through all the kingdoms, and we were doing crystals. And during that, I had a dream, and I saw this crystal in the dream, and I saw me getting it. And the next day, by some freak, my friend took me to this crystal store I never even knew existed. And I walked in, and this crystal was there. And I went, oh no, that looks just like the crystal in the dream. And what he'd been talking to me about was record keepers. I didn't even know what they were. And I went to buy this crystal, and she goes, oh, this is a record keeper crystal. So, like, that's the way things a lot of times would work in my life. I would have like this kind of ahead of a notice, and then it would happen. So those you can try to tune into and get information that's been stored in there. That's what I've been told.
Paula Revita, do you have a certain question you would like us? And I've got you starred, Paula. Or Rossi, I'm sorry.
Ooh, green adventurine tarot. I love adventurine. Paula says she posted a question. Let me see. There it is. It's 7:18. Did you see it? Tomas?
7:18.
It's right under with a bunch of blue hearts is over it. There you go. Let's see here. I think Can the personable person.
Well, Paula, I think um, common sense and human interactions are changing with the media that we have. Uh, think of, first of all, reading a book and how engaged and engrossed you are. You're putting in a time commitment, and then we switch to things like movies and television, and you got that spoon fed to you in an hour and a half. And then we jump to TikTok and uh, Instagram, and now our attention spans are even less. And as Mark brought up, my cat's a little about like a dog, squirrel. They get our attention gets distracted very quickly, and to stay on task and to develop relationships, you've got to develop these skills for the long run. We don't like to invest a lot in a friendship and then just be dropped for the newest and latest fad. So, what is that your sense of things, Mark? Are we
Well,
just
no, yes, and I think in a way, in this time frame, a lot of us are spending a lot of time figuring out who we are. It sounds weird, but it's almost like we need some more time to ourselves in this time period. Also, just the energy between male and female, it's wonky, and it's well, it's just like what Thomas was saying too. Things like the internet and stuff, it's made friendships less of a thing. I feel like it's going to go back to that. But right now, you're not the only one that feels like you don't have as many friends as you might, I think. Or a lot of other people feeling a little hermit like. I get that, yes, you are a personable person. I pulled the Empress. Like, I think you're pleasant to be around. People like you. And that, they're not, it's not the kind of energy that repels people like a certain orange marmalade I know. So it's not, you are personable and people do like you. And you have friends. Um, it's getting, I don't know. I think it's harder and harder for people to have that kind of time with another individual for whatever reason. Look at this. I got the Four of Swords, which is, we're in sort of a weird solitary time. That's so odd because we had COVID too, which forced a lot of us to be solitary for about 2 years. And I think that was on purpose. I feel like that was probably needed, that even though none of us probably liked it that much. But there's still some of that going on right now. And there's this kind of isolation energy, or I'll just stay home. I don't feel like going out. I'm friendly with you and I'm going to be friendly, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to go farther with it. If I can be responsible farther. I don't know. That's what I'm getting. It's a weird energy. I don't think it's you in particular. Do you, Thomas?
of course,
the energy rather than you.
yeah, it's of course it's not you.
Yeah.
But being locked in with COVID, it brought a lot of fears out in people, and some people aren't out of hermit mode yet. So Paula, we start out with the star card, and the star gives us hope. So hope is eternal, and you want to develop more of those deep, meaningful relationships in your life, and that would give you, you know, happy and harmonious feelings and emotions, that would ultimately fulfill you. But there are some things. This is the Chariot in the Morgan Greer Tarot, and if you don't have those steeds or sphinxes pulling in the same direction, you just have this. You have this chaos. It's always one distraction or another, and you can't go down the path that you want to. So I think that our time and our attentions are being carved up by more and more things and temptations and just inventions of tech world that we have that we didn't have 60 years ago.
Yeah, and even more recently, well, not that recent, but all these, it seems like it's been an eternity since Trump kind of came into the picture. There's less, people feel less safe to be out and to share who they are, because, oh no, what if I go up to this person and they happen to be a MAGA person or something? There's kind of like, I'm going to withhold I'm not going to be completely open with who I am because I'm not sure I'm safe. I know that sounds terrible, and that's not something I focus on, but in a way, it's like I'm safer at home by myself. I just feel, right now, it feels better just to be home. Because if I venture out, it could be like some kind of disaster or something. I don't know. The energy will attack me, and a lot of that's in our head. But I think that's still lingering. We're like not trusting. This week, I went to the movies, and it's the first time since COVID that there were actual other people in the movies, and it was quite a few. I was pretty shocked because nobody's been wanting to go out or anything.
Yeah, attendance has been slow to recoup in movie theaters.
I think it.
I don't know. I haven't seen anything on the big screen since. I don't know. Probably 7 or 8 years ago.
Yeah, I know. It's
So
been a long
probably
time.
some Marvel movie that my roommate took me to.
Yep, and so that was a big experience for all of us, and it took its toll, and some of us still are actually even feeling, the COVID actually. So it's still lingering. I think people are nervous. They're nervous about forming new friendships. I don't know. It's a lot of stuff going on. I think it's going to change. But it feels like we got to we're trying to get things more stable. It feels like almost our energy's going towards, we got to stabilize things. Everything feels too out of control. And that's kind of all around the world, I think. But I think we're going to get better. Oh, yeah.
Okay, SPEP wants to know if her sister Joanne has crossed over. Was this her soul contract or something sinister happening? Well, I don't think soul contracts are meant to be sinister. But everything viewed with certain lenses on it can be brought into suspicion. Whether things were going good and then all of a sudden whatever happened to your sister. So SFAP, I've got 6 of Cups, nostalgia. So you're remembering the younger days with your sister, when you were kids and before bills and life came up, and your whole family enjoyed you and your sister because we have that generational wealth card. So definitely the spirit of Joanne and yourself and all the family were important. and brought that unity together. And then we have the Ace of Rods or Ace of Wands, and that's a promise, a creativity promise. So if you're feeling that there were some inky circumstances with your sisters crossing, some things are, some things just happen. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason. We never know if the next day that we wake up, if we're ever going to make it to the end of the day, the natural end where we lay back down for rest. So I'm not knowing the time frame, how long, if she's missing or you know that she has crossed over. Really, if it was a recent passing, I would say give 21 days before. Let Joanne have her settling in time and get through. What do they call that? Orientation period. You know, get her bearings in the new place that she's at, because that would be a new adventure, and not everybody is wanting to see that come up for them.
Yeah. I know, and like I saw that Paula was commenting, you know, she's not really into social media. And then that even makes it harder kind of to meet people these days. So, you know, it's just kind of the times.
So SPEP made a comment that she's been missing for 61 years. So
missing.
It is up in the air.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, we talked a little bit about this before. I was on somebody else's channel with the SPEP. But now these cards came out pretty clear to me. I do feel like she's crossed. I get the world. So a lot of times that's an ending. It's like leaving the world and returning to the light, because I got the sun right after that. So two major, honestly, all but one of the cards are major arcana. So leaving the world, returning to the light, returning to source, the sun. She was escorted there by chariot. So that this is telling me, you know, it was her soul contract. It was her time to go. It wasn't against her contract. You know, like spirit was there to pick her up and guide her across the bridge or whatever you want to call it. And she's in heaven is what I get. She got up there. She crossed over. She was, let's see, replenished, kind of returned to source. And I like this picture of the Queen of Wands, like this idea of being on a throne in heaven. It sounds a little dorky, but being renewed, replenished, returned to that state of balance, that spiritual state. Wands again. Wands for me is always spirit body. So like being happy and renewed since she's been on the other side. That's what I'm hearing.
I just want you to know that Queen of Wands has my familiar Andy in it, and she's looking up at that queen and saying to himself, "What can I do to piss him off today?" Because you know I made a total mess of everything yesterday.
Yeah, and looking right up too.
Okay, I've got Ness, Thomas Reynolds, and Juanita's review. So if you would do me the favor of saying that you're here and giving us a question to read on for you. Juanita's review, her dog sees spirit animals sometimes. Yeah, the cats definitely see the energy beings around Hershey and myself. And sometimes they're my first alert to know that something different is around. And, I'm pretty clueless at times.
I meet a guy.
Yeah, I don't know that we're gonna. I got Ness, Thomas Reynolds, Juanita's review, Sandra Milner, Peg Carr, Gray, Rossi, and I've got Sandra Milner's question. So let's go to that one.
Is this the question we're on? Is Sandra?
Yes.
Okay.
It seems like a domino effect of things has been happening since 2016 to Sandra, and is a move to West Virginia okay?
West Virginia, Mountain Mama. Let's see here. Let me pull some cards. Well, Sandra, I think yes. First of all, I'm going to say yes. I heard that right away. And then I did the pendulum and it said yes. I had to retire early. You broke your leg. Okay. 2016. Yeah, it's okay to move. And actually, I feel like the universe is urging you to. And it's been kind of urging you to make a change and a move for a while. And, for whatever reason, you've been a little bit resistant. It could be because you couldn't afford it or whatever, but it's been sort of trying to push you in a new direction. I feel like that this move so I get this King of Cups, and look at all this water around it. There's a lot of like love energy. It'll suit you better. I don't know. It feels like they're trying to get you into a different energy that flows better with you and where you are right now in your life. Also, is there family or something in West Virginia? It does feel like there's some kind of a family connection, or where there's somebody else there too that that likes you or has your best interest in mind. You were holding out, trying to do the best with that house and everything, but it's kind of like this bull in a china shop. These cards are interesting because they're so different than normal, and they're brand new to me, so I'm a little bit going, wow, what's this? But it's the King of Pentacles is the card. You made a good effort to hang out there where you were and make the best of it. But, like a bull in a china shop, it kind of just became too overwhelming, and the universe is trying to encourage you to move out, even if it feels a little scary or difficult. I do feel like it's trying to encourage you to move. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Sandra, I'm gonna sound very crass here, but the three cards that drew for you, it's in business it would be called a shit sandwich. You know, because it starts out rough and it ends rough, but in the middle is the glimmer of hope. So you know, all these things happening to you and around you since 2016, you feel like you've been stabbed in the back and left out in the cold, and that there's not a lot of support that way. But going to West Virginia, you might meet that soul partner that that you bring emotional fulfillment to, and they bring emotional fulfillment to you. So I can see the draw of West Virginia for you. But don't think it's going to be easy, because with that shit sandwich, again, we've got the 10 of Wands, and that's the burden card. So do you pick up burdens for other people, or is just life since 2016 been a bigger burden for you? Just because as we age, we're just not physically able to do things like we used to. And I hope that helps, Sandra.
I just, one more card came out while Thomas was reading, and it's the Ace of Swords. And again, I think it's talking about moving forward. Take this stab. It's kind of like a stab in the dark in a weird way. See how the falcon there has this little eye mask on? It's like you can't be completely sure what's ahead, but it wants you to move forward anyway. It's kind of like the Fool. We're going to walk and trust that the universe has our back. I just feel like it's really, it's a big shove. They want to shove you out of that pattern too. Oh, it's okay if stuff is hard, or that's my lot in life, that kind of thing. They want to kind of shake you out of that too. I threw all my cards on the floor.
While Mark picks up his marbles and leaves the playground, Ness, did you have a question that you would like us to answer for you? On deck is Thomas Reynolds and Juanita's review. And I found Gray's question.
Okay. Wow. Really, cards?
Really, really, really.
Yeah. You had to spill that much? No, okay. Okay.
Ness, are you here and available?
I feel you are. Because I know you. I don't think you jump ship. Could be computer crap, though. Because my cards just scattered to the 12 winds here. She left us. There's Juanita's question. Who else?
Okay, well then we'll until we hear from Ness, with your permission, we'll go to Juanita's question. Let's see, take the star off Juanita and put her question up.
What's her question? My question is, will I meet a guy that connects with me? Me personally,
Well, dating's come a long way since you know, my day. In my day, dating was going to the bar and getting blotto drunk and going home with whoever would take you home or go home with you. You know, things have things have gotten a little more complicated since then, or I've gotten a little deeper since being shallow. I'm not sure.
That's the way you did it back then. I mean, I guess that's the way people like you did it. I can't personally relate. I used to go to the disco, which of course had a bar in it, but I'd go dancing, and then whoever was nice enough to want to be nice to me, then I'd go with them.
That's back when share a cab meant something different.
Yeah. Of course, I was also gay back in the day when you weren't supposed to be, so you sort of took any port in storm too in those days. This was way back, guys, way back before gay was a word.
Just shortly after the gay 90s happened,
Yes,
the first
yeah.
time around. Yeah,
Right.
1890.
Before it changed from happy and fun until something else. Oh, yeah. Anyway. So I'm going to see here about what?
You thought Oscar was wild.
I went wild too because I grew up on a little farm in Kentucky, sure that I was the only, even though I didn't know the word gay, the only weird person like me in the planet, because I didn't know a single other soul or anything. And then, so then when I ended up moving to California, and I moved right to West Hollywood, not even knowing it, and my whole world completely changed. Look, there's another person like me, and they're on the street. What?
And they're my next door neighbor.
And it's not dark, it's like out in the light, anyway. Okay. Well, I think you'll probably use both, Juanita. Like you might meet somebody online, but then, you arrange a date or something, and then you meet. I do, I get a lot of like deity energy in these cards. First of all, I get the Ace of Wands. Wands are fire, passion, spirit, holding on to a big old stick. But it could be like a pokey thing coming your way. This is like a good thing. Like, it's good that you're thinking about it, and that's what's up for you. There are knights that would come to you, but I get like, so they give me the Strength card. I feel like you might meet somebody at like at a thing, like I don't know, like this is gonna sound stupid, but like at a bingo game. I know you're not playing bingo, but something like that where you go to some kind of thing, like an event or a meditation class or some kind of thing like that. It feels like class, like where you actually meet somebody in person. That's what this Strength card's giving me. And don't forget that you're not just a victim of circumstance. You're a Queen of Wands. You can choose what you want, and you can set goals for yourself. You can ask the universe, spirit, to assist you in finding a mate, if that's what's for your highest good. So don't forget to include that, that you're a powerful manifester, and you don't just have to leave everything up to chance. You can like make choices, like get specific. What kind of person do I want to meet? What qualities am I looking for? start getting a little bit more specific, so it's just not whenever, wherever. People kind of, it's like you make an ad, a metaphysical ad for somebody to answer. Anyway,
if you're going to have to clean up somebody's life, clean up somebody who you enjoy to be around.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say if you're getting on apps, don't do the pay for dating apps, because they'll part you from all your money. I would say just go out and do things with other people that you enjoy, and just the chance meetings and occurrences. Do you want to take a cooking class? Maybe you'll meet a guy that loves to cook. Do you like going to wineries and doing a wine tasting? Enjoying the countryside, fresh air, just being out and about. So do those things where you're going to meet people. You're not going to meet people on your settee watching YouTube or watching television or doing a crossword puzzle. Get out and get invested in life and the world around you.
And taking a class, you might learn something too on the side. And then actually maybe meet a couple people, maybe a friend and a boyfriend. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Thomas.
So Juanita, I think maybe you're thinking that your tower is shaky and you don't have anything to offer anybody because you've tried the dating game and the mating game, and things just haven't worked out for you. Well, sometimes things don't work out for everybody. But you still are the Queen of Cups. You are that romantic person. You have passions and desires, and you want to share those things with others. And here we have the Three of Pentacles. So this is the card of collaboration. You want that architect that can build your vision along with your partner's vision. So, the money is well worth spending if you have shared visions with somebody else. And, you can be your own architect of your plans, or you can just make the plans, draw them up, and look at other architects who put your vision into something that's concrete. And that's what I have for you, Juanita. Thank you for trusting us with your question. Let's see. Did Ness ever make it back?
I didn't see her.
Okay, we will skip Ness. Thomas Reynolds, are you still around? Yeah, did Alaska change chairs, Mark?
Oh, she's here. She's laying on the floor right in front of her chair. Oh. She's been kind of laying on the floor because it's hot and she's cooler it's a wood floor in here. But she's right in here with me. You just can't see her. And Buttercup.
Thomas Reynolds, Peg Carr. I got Rossi's question. I got Gray's question. And I don't think we're going to have any other time for new questions. So I'm sorry about that. Okay. Peg Carr, are you here? Do you have a question for us? But we will go to Rossi. Oh, and then I took Rossi right off.
Oh. Now they're getting Beryl up in Canada. Mm-hmm. Rossi.
Let's see. I'm wondering what I'm supposed to be working on to honor my spiritual gifts life path. Stay curious. I don't think it's any one thing that you need to be working on, as long as you stay curious and work with the tools that you have and the references that you have. Or do you have any feeling on what Rossi's supposed to be doing to develop?
It's kind of like the normal message I get when people ask me this question or ask Spirit this question. What am I supposed to be working on? And this is the same for all of us, I think, in my opinion. It's just me, in my opinion. You're working on your personal, practical relationship with spirit or your higher self or source, whatever you want to call it, that you are a spiritual being as well as a physical being, and you want to realize that as fully as possible in this lifetime. So you ask for guidance and you kind of say, I'm on board. I want you to demonstrate this through me of the truth of my being. And that's my adventure. So the reason I'm saying that, I got the strength card, but you want to focus in on your relationship to God, Goddess, or, this lion. I always think of your relationship to Earth on the strength card. But see that sideways 8 over her head? That's your life path, your spiritual path, what you came here to do. And the way you do that is just to focus in I want to realize the fullness of my being. I just don't want to know only half of who I am. And the more you realize that, the more the other aspects of your life kind of take on a different color and a hue, and you begin to see more places to be of service that maybe didn't occur to you. You also realize that Spirit likes to use the talents, the things you enjoy, the stuff you like. It likes you to be you, and see how that functions on the planet. I was doing a private reading today, and it's the same for all of us. If you just imagine, let's just say there's this being, the God or the source or the creator, and it was just thinking, and all of a sudden in its mind started coming this idea of Rossi. And it thought, wonder what it would look like if this individual spark expressed itself and expressed myself through it as Rossi. So an individualized expression of the creator, but as this point of light, this cell. And that's really what Spirit's looking for. It wants us all to develop fully, or as fully as we're able to, and just stick with it and do the best we can. And I think, so if I get troubled, that's a good time for me to get quiet and just imagine my connection to Source. Because that's the best thing for me to do. And that's, rather than running all around or going and trying to do something, just reconnect and recenter and reaffirm who I am. And then things start developing. That's my opinion.
And then when things start developing, remember that you wanted them to develop, and don't be frightened of what's developing. Rossi, you start with the devil. So I don't know if you are thinking that maybe organized religion has been deceiving you for all these years, and you just want to take a look into the natural energy of things. But then we have the Empress, which I think you are. Mother Nature, tied to Venus. Go out and be that, excuse me, ever grounded Mother Earth, Gaia type spirit and energy, and know the natural secrets of life, or seek out the natural secrets of life. And then we have the Emperor along with the Empress, 3 major arcana cards, and all very powerful ones. So whatever you're doing to honor your spiritual gifts, I think that the universe is allowing you to look at whatever you want, whatever interests you at that moment. I don't think that there is a set curriculum to say, welcome to Esoteric 101. In 8 years, you'll graduate with your Masters of Esoterica and Hidden Knowledge. I haven't found that school of thought yet. So I think just keep honoring what you find out and what you're interested in, Rossi, and I don't think you can go wrong with that.
Yeah, and I would say I do this. I ask the universe, I enjoy seeing evidence, the adventure in my life. So give me the evidence that we're working together, that I see it around me. It's okay. Ask for what you want. Ask and you receive. So can you show me some evidence in my world that I'm on a path with spirit? And it will. So, and I don't know how that'll look. It'll be different for everybody. But don't forget to ask for what you need, because, blind faith is all good and well, but sometimes I need a little bit of evidence or a little extra goose or a push or some kind of, and so I learned a long time ago, just ask for that. And then that's the kind of things I get. I believe that the universe can speak to you that way and show you that way. So it does, and then I ask, are we still working together? Because I'm feeling a little wonky. I don't know. Am I still on the path? If I am, please let me know. And then I'll get some big old sign or signal. Yeah, don't give up yet, Mark. We're still going on.
Okay, the last 3 we have Thomas Reynolds, Peg Carr, and Gray. Could you give us a sign that you are here and around?
Twisted Sushi. Oh, I like that name, Sushi.
Twisted Sushi will be a guest later with Hershey and myself, 8 o'clock Central Time. And I'm reading Conscious. Hershey reads Subconscious in Shadow Work. And Amanda will be reading chakra readings.
Are you doing that tonight?
We're doing that tonight at 8 o'clock, about an hour from now.
Okay, right.
57 minutes from now, but I digress. Peg Carr is still here, and Gray is still here. So
there's those 2.
Peg Carr, do you have
me, Peg?
Do you have a topic of interest that you would like us to look into? Mark, the older I get, the more blessings I get, but then the more physical pains occur as well. So it's that mixed bag of blessings.
I know. The physical body doesn't want to keep up, because like on the inside, don't you feel just as young as ever? But then your body goes, hey, sit the hell down, because my knees are hurt.
Limitations. You don't bounce anymore.
No. I feel like I could bounce until I try, and I go, oh no, that was a bad idea.
Yeah. I'm not 7 years old and bulletproof anymore.
Yeah.
Gray, my channel is called Tarot Your Way. mostly an educational, teach you how to read the tarot. I'm in the middle of introducing all the cards. We're doing deep dives. We've done the major arcana, we've gone through the wands, and now we're on pentacles. So 4 pentacles is set next for next Sunday at noon. Okay, so
There's a question from
Peg.
Peg.
Yeah, I see. Okay, let's get that up. Well, 15 is a fair amount of life for a cat. You know, they do have 9 lives, and just like us, when they're young, they're bulletproof and they bounce, and we have 9 lives. Tony is asking for confirmation for things, and he's upping the game by asking for harder and harder signs.
Think you're going to get the best of them. They go, aha, I know you're not.
Wait till that Bentley pulls up.
Yep. Go ahead and play with the universe. It likes it. I say go for it. Yeah.
Oh, definitely Spirit has a sense of humor and can be very wicked.
Yep.
And you can hear it laugh at you.
I know that for a fact. One time when I was really working on opening my third eye, and I was doing all this stuff and just praying and asking Spirit, help to open. And then the next thing I knew, I slammed my third eye into a metal, like a big gate in the farm, and I was opening it, and it got caught on dirt. And when I pulled it, it just went with all my force right, and then a knot came up exactly where your third eye would be. So it was like I was the Cyclops with the big old knot. And I went, oh my God. And I could feel Spirit kind of laughing, going, well, you said do whatever it takes to open it up. And so now you're going to walk around with it on the outside of your head for a few days. And they were kind of laughing about it. And I'm going, well, that was a lot. You know, I almost went unconscious. You hit me so hard.
Sort of like Pete Puma. Would you like any sugar in your coffee? No, sugar gives me a headache.
Oh, Lord. Well, Peg, for one thing, your spirit did not want to be without a cat, even for a day. It was like really important for you to keep that energy right there, you know, to have that familiar kind of energy with you. It was like, when I'm ready to go, there's another one right there to take my place. Because you are more whole and more balanced with a little kitty with you. So I feel like even Frida Luna is like, well, I got to make sure before I cross that there's someone to step into my shoes there. And so it was almost like, you know, prearranged a little bit. Wasn't a mistake. It wasn't a coincidence. And, you know, I can feel the little Frida, you know, excited about it. She likes it. I think it was a good mix. Did Mimsy just move right in and act like she was just always your kitty? Or it feels like she was a pretty good match. Okay, that's what I got.
Okay, so Peg, here we start with the page of rods, and you know, kitty energy is something that's always been around you, and I think that Frida Luna had set it up to prearrange to have Mimsy come around and keep you company, because yes, Frida Lynn would like to be the apple of Mama's eye, but she didn't want Mama to be sad because you know bodies and essences pass, but the memories are always going to be there and happy. She felt Frida Lynn felt it was her duty to get Mimsy there for you. And she looked, she might have held on a little bit too long to make sure that this was going to happen so you wouldn't be alone. Of course you're going to be heartbroken. And then we have our Nine of Pentacles. So everything in your life was arranged to make you comfortable. Not monetarily comfortable, but comfortable in feeling like a whole person, where pets give us those unconditional loving moments, and then you gave that right back to both your cats. So I'm sorry that happened, but I'm glad that Mimsy came into your life and didn't let you be lonely for very long.
Right. And Frida didn't want you to sink into grief. So in a way too, it helped. It was a salve for the grief. She was a little worried that if Mimsy wasn't there, you might kind of fall into grief and then sort of dwell in it. And she didn't want that. She was like, no, 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 that's not good. And like you might have been hesitant to look for another cat or something. She didn't even want that to be a choice, kind of like, I'm going to have to go on because there's this other little kitty. And, yes, I'm sad, but I have a new little guy to take care of. Anyway.
Okay, Gray was wondering whether they might have a serious change or upgrade, either energetic or housing or relationship. Anything jumping for us? I think I'm going to go first here. So, Gray, if we keep staying in this Five of Wands conflict and struggle, we're not going to be able to get that upgrade or bump in the lifestyle that we want to. And I see that there's a little bit of self-sabotage with the Nine of Swords. So I think that maybe too many nights you're in your own head and you don't get restful sleep, and you think that everything is not always quite right with what's going on, and you're overthinking on what it could be or what ramifications it has in your life. So you need to be the Page of Swords. Going to give you a message of airiness. Going to make you think out things very logically. You're not going to jump to conclusions. You're going to do a lot of studying, and I think with the information that you find out from studying is going to give your life an upgrade, including energy, housing, relationships. It's all a big plus. Knowledge is wisdom, and wisdom is knowledge.
Gray, they're talking about kind of like what we're all going through a little bit, because we all are getting an upgrade, I think, at probably different levels for different people, or different, but everybody's going through some kind of energetic shift, I believe. So the first card is talking to me about that. Sometimes it's hard to put that in words, but in one way, it's bringing together, this is just a simplistic way, heaven and earth, making it us realizing that we're one. It's not this separate energy. It's a oneness. It's an allness. So they show me the strength card again. But that's what I'm getting out of that. Like, like we're coming together. That's what this upgrade is about. Everybody's going through, and you're not being left out. It might feel like you're sort of at a pause or a standstill a little bit, but I feel like you're supposed to be where you are, kind of being still a little bit, because this is the Ace of Swords. But there's this card for some reason is telling me like download energy. So like what you ask, an upgrade, an energetic upgrade. I think that's happening, and they kind of want you to sort of be still and just allow it. Because at first I thought I was going to get you need to move, but I did not get that. It feels like you need to kind of stay put. But that's not forever. You're not going to just sit there forever like a bird with the mask, because there's like a rejoicing. You make it, you reach that level, and it feels good and it feels better, and then you're kind of back out to the next thing. It's like charging you up for the next adventure. It's almost like having you plugged into a charger a little bit. I feel like that for all of us, maybe. But it feels like the upgrade is reaching a plateau kind of, or so that you can move more with it. It seems like we needed to be still for a while, but now we're going to be moving again. And I think you are too. And that would mean more opportunities coming your direction, whether it's housing or relationships or whatever. I would choose what I want.
Well, Mark, it has been so enjoyable reading with you again. Let's not make it a year between next time.
I'll have you on my channel, okay?
Okay.
I'll invite you over. That'll be fun. I love reading with you.
Thank you for your wisdom and your upbeat personality, and keeping it light, and especially with your connection to Pan, and helping us humans make relations with our animals. We're all interdependent on this big blue ball that we live on together. So thank you for being my guest tonight, and thank you for doing what you do, Mark.
Oh yeah. No. Oh, I see. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here with you, Thomas. I love to be with you. I was just noticing Gray. It's so hard for me not to read the comments, but he said he did find some housing and stuff. I thought I was going to see moving, but I don't know if it's right now. It looks like you will be moving, but maybe not immediately. Anyway, sorry. Sometimes I can't shut it off.
Yeah, it is hard after an energetic program when we go backstage. Sometimes we get that Nine of Swords all in our head and can't sleep with all the excitement and stuff going on in our lives.
Right.
So thank you for being with me, Mark. Thank you for all the lovely chatters, keeping it lively while this was going on. Remember, be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and go out and make it a great night. See you later, everyone.
Bye, guys. Love ya.